Okay, picture this, a title that meant super smart, deeply respected religious guy, somehow morphed into the person who runs the entire country. The journey is insane.
We must
For centuries,
now.
an Ayatollah was simply a sign of God, a top-tier scholar in Shia Islam, someone you would go to for deep theological questions, not for political decrees. They were guides, interpreters of sacred law, living lives of quiet study. But then, in the 20th century, something shifted. Radically. The title, once earned through decades of scholarship, became welded to absolute political authority, the ultimate power over a nation. So how does a man of books become a man with an army, a treasury, and the final say over millions? The answer lies in one man's radical vision. What if the death of one man ignited a religious split that created the Ayatollah's entire role? Spoiler, it did. To understand this, you have to go back. Way back. To the 7th century. When the Prophet Muhammad died, it was not just the end of a life, it was a crisis. A power vacuum that tore the Muslim world in two. Who would lead? His closest companion or his own bloodline? This single question created a fracture, a deep, bitter divide. On one side, the Sunni. On the other, the Shia. And for the Shia, this new reality created a desperate need for something their rivals did not have, a guide, a living connection to the divine.
The historical
But
records
what kind of
confirm
guide
their
could
deception.
possibly fill such a role?
We must act now.
Imagine your leader, the one person you believe has a divine connection, just vanishes. For millions of Shia Muslims, this is a core reality. Their 12th Imam, a direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad, went into hiding over 1,000 years ago. He didn't die. He is simply gone. Hidden by God, waiting for the right moment to return and bring justice to the world. But what happens to an entire community when its infallible guide is absent? Who runs the show? Who interprets God's will when the interpreter himself is in occultation? The entire structure of their society, their laws, their very faith, hinges on the answer to that one terrifying question. This title, Ayatollah, it's literally a sign of God, but it wasn't born from political ambition. It was born from pure, unadulterated respect. And then everything changed. Imagine a world where the old rulers are gone, leaving a massive vacuum of power. Who fills it? Not generals, not kings. Instead, the most learned religious scholars, the jurists, rose to guide the people. They weren't appointed, they were recognized. This new honorific, Ayatollah, wasn't a political rank. It was a testament to immense spiritual authority and knowledge, a title whispered with
historical
reverence.
records confirm their
It was a
deception.
sign of the people's absolute
We
trust.
must act now.
But what happens when that kind of spiritual power starts to taste something else, something far more worldly? For centuries, an entire civilization waited for one man to return and refused to govern until he did. Wild. Imagine a society where the most respected leaders, the Ayatollahs, believed their job was not to rule. For over 1,000 years, this was the dominant tradition, Quietism. Their focus was purely spiritual, guiding the community, interpreting divine law, and helping the poor. But direct political power, that was off limits. They believed that ultimate authority was reserved for a single messianic figure who vanished in the 9th century, the hidden Imam. Everyone else was just a placeholder, keeping the seat warm until his return. So what happens when a nation, for centuries, waits for a ghost to be its king? You think you know revolution. This one started not with guns, but with prayer. And it changed everything. Imagine your country hurtling through time. The 20th century crashes in, and the king, a Shah backed by powerful Western hands, is pushing a future that feels alien. Skyscrapers rise, but so does a deep, simmering resentment. Your ancient traditions are swept aside for a rapid, secular
The
dream
historical
that isn't
records
shared by
confirm their
everyone.
deception.
And in the quiet
We must
seminaries,
act
the
now.
clergy begin to stir. Pushed from their books into a confrontational role, they see a nation losing its soul. They decide it's time to take it back. But the force they were about to unleash, no one saw that coming. Centuries of religious thought, right? All about moral authority. But then, one man declares, moral authority. That actually means political power, mind blown. For over 1,000 years, Shia clerics believed their job was to guide people and wait for the hidden Imam. They were advisors, not rulers. Then comes Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. He looks at the world and sees a society adrift, run by corrupt, secular powers. And he proposes something that shatters tradition. He argues that in the Imam's absence, the most qualified religious scholar isn't just supposed to give advice. No, they are obligated to seize control, to rule the entire state. This wasn't just a new interpretation. It was a political earthquake that would create an entirely new kind of nation. Forget everything you think you know about revolutions. This one started with a voice, not a bullet. And it worked. Imagine a man, exiled hundreds of miles away, whose words were so powerful they crossed borders on smuggled cassette tapes.
The historical records confirm
That was
their
Ruhollah
deception.
Khomeini.
We
His
must
sermons
act
weren't just
now.
speeches, they were fire. He painted a vision of a nation betrayed by its king, the Shah, a puppet for foreign powers. Millions of Iranians huddled around tape players, listening to this forbidden ideology spreading like a virus. They heard a promise of true independence, of a government guided not by kings or presidents, but by divine law. The Shah had an army. Khomeini had an idea. And in 1979, an idea proved stronger than an army, toppling a throne and creating something the world had never seen before. Wait, so the Ayatollah wasn't always this all-powerful. What changed? And how did he pull that off? Imagine this, the revolution is over. The air is electric with hope. You think you're getting a republic. But while everyone celebrates in the streets, a new constitution is being written in the shadows. It takes the traditional idea of an Ayatollah, a revered scholar, and fuses it with absolute state power. Suddenly, one man is given the final say over everything. The government, the military, even the judges. He becomes the supreme leader. It was a brilliant, terrifying political move, forging religious reverence into an iron grip of control. But the question that hangs in the air is, how did they convince a nation that just fought for freedom to hand it all
The
over to
historical
one man?
records confirm their deception. We must act now.
Imagine if professor suddenly meant president for life. That's exactly what happened with Ayatollah. For centuries, this was a title you earned. A sign of profound respect in Shia Islam, reserved only for a handful of brilliant legal scholars who had reached the absolute peak of religious learning. It was a title of reverence, not rule. A symbol of knowledge, not a state. But then, in the late 20th century, something shifted, and it shifted hard. One man and one single, earth-shattering revolution would forever hijack that word, twisting it into a global symbol of absolute political authority. The scholar was about to become the supreme leader, and the world had no idea what was coming next.